comes that the lady has gone to school and she's not working, she thinks, so she finds out that things are not okay with her, that there must be a problem. So the values are being instilled from the upbringing, and that is where the difference comes in, is that we from the beginning, our parents instill certain values, and as we are sitting today, we being the parents, someone said, uh, when you are being brought up in your early childhood, you will say, I come from, I come from, I come from. That is, you have a background. But when you reach 30, now you are the background. You are not coming from, people are coming from you now. You don't say, where I was born was poor. Mm-mm. There is someone who is pointing to you that he was born from you. So you become the background. So if you have become the background and your values have shifted goals, then the gap is sure, because the priority will differ. The priority comes from the right foundation, which comes from the upbringing of the generation. So the question, again, we go back to the question, maybe I read it out so that you who is writing, you find it. It says, what are the main reasons for generation difference in values and beliefs? So I was talking about values. Now beliefs are the customs and the traditions that we portray. So we are having the belief that has gone viral in these generations and some generation back, that they are not brought from the values and the beliefs of the traditions of the African world. Now we are in the village called the global village, of where all the beliefs have been instilled in any direction. So you choose what to believe at what time. So the choices that we are being displayed to brings the gap in between the generations. Because if someone likes, for example, the 44th president of America, the Barack is from US, but a Kenyan born. So the beliefs and the values that he will portray out is not from Siaya, it's from the United States. And the people that are following him are from Siaya or are from Mombasa here now. So they will start to live in America while they are still in Kenya. And that is where the difference comes in. Who is your model? Who is your mentor? So when you miss the model, that model, because of the wrong priorities, because we love people by what we see. Someone asked, who is the best leader, and people were saying maybe Raila Odinga, some they were saying Nelson Mandela, some they were saying the former president of Kenya, Kibaki. And the question was posed on, how did he become that good leader? It's because he was on the limelight, you could see. But do you have the secret life that he's living to make him who he is today? No. So you will admire the image that you see on the television. One artist who is a famous, I will not mention her name, she's very famous. She said sometimes she loved to eat mahindi while walking on the streets, but because of the image that people have put her as an idol, she cannot eat mahindi on the streets. Though she laughed, she missed those days when she was a house help, walking on the street, eating. But because of that, so you can imagine that you are admiring someone who is admiring eating mahindi on the street, and he can. While you can have all displayed on you. So the values and beliefs will differ because of upbringing, number one. Number two is because of the wrong models that we place on ourselves. Model is not someone that you have an access to. You can just admire as an idol. Then we have mentors. Mentors are someone that we reach on a daily basis. You can run to Pastor Silas and decide to be under me to coach you. He's a teacher. You can run to him. He trains you. He becomes your mentor. because he is upbringing you. But there is that person that you desire. And that is what has brought the difference in between these 3, 4, 5 generations. Because some, they were brought up with a really thing. Others, they are being brought up by microwaved things. It is not the really thing, it's genetic. It's a GMOs. They desire it, they have it. In the scriptural content and the spiritual language, we say one touch, double manifestation. You don't need to struggle so much. So you have that picture that you are trying to have, and there is this another person who is already in the picture. He is being brought in that gap. But for you, there is that life that you need. You find out that someone, one of the kids told me that when he grow up, he want to be a YouTuber. So I was wondering, what is YouTuber? So for him, he has seen someone on YouTube making money. So he sees that that is the life that he could live. Yes, he's going to school, but the mind has been set. I'm a YouTuber. So what do I need? I need a laptop. What do you need? I need an iPhone. And he's in grade 4. He's in grade 5. So you can see that this person as an alpha, he's growing up and he's becoming that. So the value have shifted because of the upbringing that we are having. Thank you.
Wanaongea, mimi nasikia maswali yana pop up. I'm tempted, you know, to ask those questions now, but we have a place where we are going to ask those questions. Now, we go to Collins, and Collins on ethics. I want you to tell us, what are the biggest ethical challenges facing different generations today? What are the biggest ethical challenges facing different generations? I can give you this.
Agree with me or you'll disagree. I think one ethical issue is addiction. To me, addiction, I think that one is a real challenge to the Gen Z and the current generation because of the many options that they are faced with and the pressures and so forth. For the older generation, we have tribalism. For the older generation, we have tribalism. It's a challenge. And the other challenge that I think cuts across is corruption. Corruption, I think, cuts across. We have corruption, the older generation, and of course, also in the current generation as something which is an ethical issue. And then we also have lack of patriotism. So, Pastor, I think lack of patriotism, especially for the current generation, the older generation are patriotic in terms of ethics. Pastor, back to you. I said I'll be very brief.
Situmpigie makofi. Yeah? I was looking at the program. Collins, I will sit with you again so that you can help me understand that. Now, maswali iko tayari? Maswali yetu iko tayari? Ama hatuna maswali? Tuko sawa tu? Thank you. Maswali yako. Maswali yapo. But before we ask them questions, because of time, we don't want to be here mpaka usiku, Because of time, I would like them, each one of them, right, to give us their parting shot on the very questions that I had given them. Sawa sawa. We want to hear their parting shot. Remember, we have all agreed that there is a gap. There's a generational gap that exists. Okay? But we are here so that we can bridge that gap. The reason we have come, the reason we are converging, the reason we want to have these conversations is so that we can bridge this gap. You know, sometimes I ask myself, like, if we don't bridge this gap, tutaenda kuishi wapi? Kwa sababu kule manyumbani tayari kuna shida. Kule nyumbani kuna shida tena kubwa sana. Can you imagine? Mtu anaamka asubuhi, kumbe amekuwa amefungia kitu ndani, na anaamka, anaua mtoto wake, anaua mke wake, na anajiua yeye mwenyewe. Sawa sawa, eh? We must be able to bridge the gap that exists so that we can live in cohesion. We must coexist, whether we like it or not. On that note, I want you to go to Blue Radio Kenya. Okay, Blue Radio Kenya, where the concept for the generational gap is there. I have, is it under Sunday Express or just there? Yeah, just there at Blue Radio Kenya, okay? And make sure you scroll and get into the concept. I have shared the concept, they have it. I could also share it on the group for those who are on the group, but it's very, very important for us to go through the concept. It's easier when you hear somebody speaking than reading, sindio? Kwa wale ambao hawapendi kusoma sana, tumeisoma hiyo concept, iko pale nimeisoma, so you can listen to that concept. So now, we want to hear their parting shot so that we go straight to the question and answer. But even before the question and answer, we will have somebody sing for us or give us a poem, or they will tell us what they have, whether it's a poem or it's a song. But now I want to begin with you, Collins, so that you give us your parting shot on what the biggest ethical challenges are that we are facing in different generations.
Thank you, Pastor Jumbale. As I give my parting shot, allow me to request the audience to stand. Just stand. I know you've been seated for a while. And be in groups of three. I can see these ones are three. Need one person, as we are already three here. Or you'll come and join them. Three. Threes. Are you in threes? No, just threes. Then among the three of you, allow the oldest person to be that side, and then the youngest to be this side. Among the three of you. Wapigie makofi hawa. The oldest to be far right, and then the youngest left. You're the oldest, eh? Okay, sawa. Okay, we are together, yeah? Now, so this one is from the Bible. From the Bible in the book of Timothy, we have somebody called Lois. Can you say Lois? Yes. Lois had genuine faith. Lois was a grandmother. I'm not saying you're a grandmother. Had genuine faith. And then Lois passed it on to Eunice. Can you say Eunice? So this is Lois. This is Eunice. This is Timothy. Can you say this is Timothy? Okay? So Lois had genuine faith. These, in the Bible, they represented three different generations. Then Lois passed it on to Eunice, that genuine faith, which affected the values and the beliefs. Then Eunice passed it on to Timothy. Timothy, wale ma Timothy nuni mikono? Timothy's. Aya, take your seats. Take your seats. Thank you very much. Now, so as I give out the microphone, in those 3 generations, Lois had challenges, Eunice had challenges, Timothy had challenges. But regardless of those challenges in the 3 generations, there is something deliberate that they did. They passed on genuine faith. Regardless of the challenges that Lois had, regardless of the challenges that Eunice had, and regardless of the challenges that Timothy had. So that's my parting shot. It doesn't matter. I said the challenges for Gen Z mainly is addiction. For the older generation, tribalism. You know, when your daughter wants to get married, that's when it comes out. Ametoka wapi, you know, and that kind of stuff. Regardless of these challenges, my parting shot is, let's pass on the genuine faith. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's a beautiful one. That's a beautiful demonstration. We cannot forget that, okay? That one I'm sure we will not forget. Pastor Buya, last born ata last born achukue nafasi yake. So I want you to give us your parting shot.
Praise God. We are used to preaching. We speak a lot. But I want to say this. When genuine change is needed, there are those hard decisions to make. Unless we sit down, make an analysis of everything, and choose to make those hard decisions, we will always remain having such forums. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Number 2, after this forum, we need to be intentional in bridging the gap. We need to put into place procedures that will help us to bridge the gap. How? As it is, every generation inasimamia mahali pa misimamo yake. We need to take that step down and come to a common ground where we can discuss.
Juu lipo, you come down, meet with your child, and then you start walking together. Hapo ndio tumefikia.